In this video, we will learn how to solve equations with fractions by finding the LCD. Eliminating fractions from an equation will allow us to solve it using the same process as those that do not have fractions. We're going to use a multiplication table to help us find the LCD of the fractions. Now, just as there is an order of operations, some of you might know it as PEMDAS, there is also an order for solving linear equations. First, we distribute parentheses if there are any, then we eliminate fractions. Next, we combine like terms on each side of the equal sign, move the letters to one side. This will give us the location of a variable so that we can find the operations being applied to the variable, and we can do inverse operations to undo them. Now, the order that we do this inverse operation is the following. First, we move anything that is being added or subtracted. We undo addition by subtracting and subtraction by adding. Then we move anything that is being multiplied or divided. We undo multiplication by dividing, and then we undo division by multiplying. So let's start our first example. First, I'm going to check if there are any parentheses, and there isn't any, so that step one is complete. The next thing is we need to eliminate fractions. So the way we eliminate fraction is by finding the LCD. So we're going to look at the denominators. So here are the denominators. I have a 4, a 3, and a 6. So I'm going to go to the multiplication table to help me find the LCD of the 4, the 3, and the 6. We mark our denominators. Remember, it was a 4, a 3, and a 6. We're going to move along the largest of the denominators. We're going to go through each of the numbers there until we find the first number that is in all three, on the 4, the 3, and the 6. So this is what I mean. We're going to take along the 6. We look at the 6. This is the first number in that line. And then I check, is there a 6 in the 4 and a 6 on the 3? Well, the 6 is on the 3, but it's not on the 4. So then 6 is not going to be our LCD. I move to the next one. Remember, we're moving along the largest of the denominator. The next number on the line is 12. And 12 is on the 4 and is also on the 3. So because the 12 is the first number that is on all of them, that will be my LCD. Now, there will be other numbers that is on the 3 lines, but we're looking for the lowest. We're looking for the smallest of them all. So that's why we're going to take the 12. So let's go back to our example and see how we're going to use this 12. All right, so we found our LCD to be 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply every single term, each one of these, by that 12, the LCD. The way that we eliminate the fraction is we multiply times the numerator and then divide by the denominator. So in this case, 12 times 3 is 36, divided by 4 will give you a 9. Then bring down the variable. Don't lose the minus, and then we do it again. 12 times 2 is 24, divided by 3 will be 8. Don't lose the equal sign. On the right side, 5 times 12 is 60, divided by 6, that will give us a 10. And we have eliminated the fractions. So we move on to the next item on the checklist. We're going to see if there are any like terms to combine on each side. So I look at the left side. On the left side, there are no like terms. One has a variable and the other one doesn't. So then I leave it alone. On the right side, there is also no like terms to combine. It's just a 10, so I'm going to leave it be. The next thing we're going to do, let's check it off here. It says we need to move the letters to one side, but the letters or the variables are already all on one side. My variable is on the left side, so then there's nothing for me to move. What I need to do now is find out what operations are being applied. Well, since my variable is on the left side, I see there is a subtraction and then there is a multiplication on that side. So those are the operations I need to undo. Remember, we first undo anything that is being added or subtracted. So I need to undo this subtraction by 8. The opposite, or we undo subtraction, remember, by adding. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So let's try that. We bring down the 9x. Now, minus 8 plus 8, different signs, we subtract. So 8 minus 8 will go to 0, so we don't have to write it down. And on the right side, 10 plus 8 will give you 18. All right, so we got rid of that subtraction. Now we need to take care of the multiplication. So since there is a multiplication by 9 and we undo multiplication by dividing, I'm going to divide both sides by 9. Now very careful here, 9 divided by 9, it's a 1. It's not, let me show you. It's not like up here. Right here we were adding or subtracting. So 8 minus 8 went to 0. But here 9 divided by 9 doesn't go to 0. That goes to 1. So this is 1x equals, on the right side, 18 divided by 9 will be 2. 1 times x will just be x. So x is going to equal to 2. And this becomes our solution. Let's try another example here. We go through the steps again. We check for parentheses, and this time there is a parentheses. That means that I'm going to have to distribute that number outside the parentheses times each of the values inside. So let's do it on the side. I'm going to multiply first 1/2 times that 3 over 4. The way we multiply is we multiply across. 1 times 3 will be 3, and 2 times 4 will be 8. So then I have here 3 over 8. Don't forget to bring the variable. And then when I do 1/2 times 1, I just get back 1/2. So let's bring it down. Don't forget we have a left side, so this becomes 1 over 4, the variable, minus 3 over 2. Okay, we distribute the parentheses. The next thing is to eliminate fractions. So let's look at the denominators this time. I have a 4, a 2, and an 8. So 4, 2, and 8. Now you might be saying, there are 2 2's here. Yes, there are 2 2's, but these are the same number. We only put the different numbers. Since the 2 and the 2 is the same, I only have to consider it once. So let's go to the multiplication table so that we can find the LCD of this 4 and 2 and 8. Remember, the way we do that is we're going to look at the line for 4, for 2, and 8. We start at the largest of them all. In this case is 8. And we begin with the first number. Is 8 on both of the other lines? And it is. 8 is here, right? So 8 is also here, and 8 is also on the 2. So because 8 is in all 3 of them, 8 becomes our LCD. So let's take it back to the problem so that we can see how we're going to use it to eliminate the fractions. Okay, let me write it down. The LCD was 8. That means that every single one of these fractions, every single one of these terms is going to get multiplied by 8. Remember, we multiply the numerator and then divide the denominator. So the first one, 8 times 1 is 8, divided by 4 will give us 2. Don't lose the variable. Minus 8 times 3 is 24, divided by 2 is 12. Don't lose the equal sign. 3 times 8 is 24, divided by 8, that's a 3. Don't lose the variable and the plus. And then 1 times 8 is 8, divided by 2, that will give us 4. So we've eliminated the fractions. The next thing is we need to check if there are any like terms on each side. So on the left side I have 2r minus 12. One has a variable, the other one doesn't. I cannot combine them. On the right side I have 3r plus 4. Again, one has a variable and the other one doesn't, so I cannot combine them. So this one is done. Now I need to move the letters to one side to pick a location. So I'm going to look at the right side. There is a 3r on the right side, right here, 3r. So it's positive is being added. So the opposite of addition will be subtraction. So I'm going to move this 3r from the right side to the left side. I'm moving my letters to the left. So we start subtracting 2 minus 3r. Because they have different signs, I subtract and keep the sign of the largest. So that will become minus 1. Don't lose the variable. Bring down the minus 12. Bring down the equal sign. On the right side, 3r minus 3r, well, that will go to 0. And then I will be left with a 4. So now I have my variables on the left side. Since I have my variables on the left side, now I can see which operations are being applied. In this case, is this subtraction and the multiplication by -1. Remember, first we get rid of the subtraction. I'm going to add both sides by 12. So from left to right, I'm left with -1r The minus 12 and the 12, remember, those go to 0. 12 minus 12 is 0. And on the right side, I have 16. I'm not done. I still need to divide, so I'm going to divide by -1 both sides because r is being multiplied by -1. So this goes to 1. Remember, not to 0. There's division. So this is 1r is equal to, on the right side, I have 16 divided by -1. Well, 16 divided by 1 is 16, and because they have different signs, it will be negative. Don't forget that 1r is the same as r, so then r is just going to equal to -16, and we've arrived at our solution.
Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.